Hello, movie lovers. And today I'm going to be talking about Jason Momoa being cast as Lobo. And I'm excited to be able to talk about this. I also have some other piece of movie news that dropped as well. We're going to go into Batman, the Batman being delayed up until 2027. We also have a couple of other things that came out. So, yeah, let's go on ahead. Let's talk about this. I'm excited to be able to do it. So, let's go on ahead. Let's go do some movie news. And hello, movie lovers, and welcome to the show. So, before I get started, I just want to mention this. I'm actually sponsored by Fanatics. Fanatics is a sports store. Get yourself some merch. You're going to love it. Go on and click the link below in the descriptions, and it'll take you to our 40% off discount if you use the promo code in the link that's provided. So, anyways, so this is what I wanted to talk about. This was the biggest thing that I wanted to talk about right now. Is Lobo is finally getting casted, and it's officially announced that Jason Momoa is actually Lobo. And I'm excited about this. I think that this is a better fit for Jason. I think that Lobo is like the best character for Jason, to be honest with you, because of the fact. Don't get me wrong, I liked him as Aquaman and stuff like that. But I think what resonates with me when I look at Jason Momoa, it's the whole fact that Jason Momoa embodies Lobo. Lobo is just a better fit, in my opinion. I'm not saying he didn't do a good job as Aquaman, but this is fantastic, in my opinion. And also, too, I just want to mention this. I know some people are like, well, how is he going to fit into Supergirl because he's actually a Superman villain? Don't forget, Supergirl is actually related to Superman. So therefore, I wouldn't doubt that if this was like a little small introduction into Lobo and just basically introduce this character maybe at the end of it, and then after that it gets introduced into Superman later. So if they do it on that way, I'm fine with it. Don't and like I said, they're related. So therefore there's no reason why they can't be therefore they can't go on ahead and have him in there. Um yeah, I know this is kind of old news, and all OGDCU fans knew that this was Destiny and only it was a matter of time. Yeah, exactly. 2 years ago, I actually reported on this, where it was rumored that Jason Momoa was actually going to be Lobo. And I was excited for it even then, but now to make it an official announcement saying, hey, look, Jason Momoa is going to be Lobo. This is just one of those tantalizations of the fact that it's actually happening. This is something that is true. And this is something that I'm geeked out about. I'm excited about the stuff that James Gunn is doing when it comes down to adding certain characters within the DCU. I'm excited for this new Superman movie that we're going to be getting. But yeah, if they go on ahead and just say, hey, look, we're going to go in and put Lobo towards the end of Supergirl, even though he's a Superman villain, that's actually a perfect way to do it. But still, we don't know how he's going to be introduced. But don't forget, he was actually in the Krypton TV series off of Sci-Fi not too long ago, and that's where he was like on a smaller screen. But to be on a bigger screen, I'm actually happy with that. But what do you guys think? Are you guys excited about him being cast as Lobo? What do you guys think about this? I know I'm excited for it. But Derpy, are you excited about this? That's what I want to know too. I want to know if you're excited about that as well, Mr. Movie Madness. Hey, Mr. Movie Madness, how are you doing? It's good to see you inside the chat over on Instagram. I do appreciate that. Um, but there's actually some other piece of news that came out with James Gunn. Okay, so there's actually been some pushbacks whenever it came down to the Batman delay, and this is what I have to say about this. Okay, so this comes from Deadline. DC Studios co-chairman and CEO James Gunn is standing firm that the decision to push Matt Reeves' follow-up, The Batman, back a year with a new release set for 2027 taken to Instagram threads. Following the news and substance fan outcry, Gunn defended the choice as one that is routine for big action tentpoles. To be fair, a 5-year gap or more, this is what James said, it's fairly common in sequels. He wrote 7 years between Alien and Aliens, 14 years between Incredibles, 7 years between the first two Terminators movies, 13 years between Avatar, 36 years between Top Gun, which, to be honest with you, was a cop out, in my opinion, on his elaboration of that. And of course, 6 years between Guardians Volume 2 and Volume 3. So, what I have to say about this is, okay, it Matt Reeves had this already planned out that he was going to do another Batman movie. This is not a non-brainer, right? So, and it's also been since 2022 since we actually had a Batman movie. So therefore, I feel like, you know, that there should have already been a plan in place. I feel like his script should have already been done. Yes, he was a producer for the Penguin, but I feel like if you're someone that said, "Hey, look, we're going to do a sequel after the Batman," you should at least have a plan ready in hand on what you're going to be doing. But also, too, it may not be just on Matt Reeves, though, too. Don't forget, he was signed on with the old regime of WB before James Gunn even came around and before Zoloff, which is Zaffron, came around. And I think that now this is me speculating, but it could also mean that they're pushing him out the door and trying to play somebody else to do a different DCU Batman versus it just being two different Batman movies and different universe and elsewhere Batman. But this is me speculating on that part of it. But I think that, and I'm going to say something that people may disagree with me on, but Robert Pattinson's Batman does not belong in the DCU universe at all. He's an Elseworld Batman. If you actually look at the tone of the Penguin, if you look at the tone of what the actual original Batman what is, that's two different tones all together. The Batman Part 2 delayed till Tuesday. Yeah, I know, Mr. Movie Madness. I know. Tell me about it. It sucks, right? But, I just feel like you should have some type of plan with this. And I just feel like that this is just the wrong way to go about it and everything too, because of the fact you're making an excuses, James. You're making excuses of like, hey, look, Top Gun took them X amount of time to make a sequel. There was no sequel to even begin with, James. Okay, James? There was no sequel at all until Tom Cruise is like, you know what? We might actually revisit the character, revisit what Top Gun is and what Top Gun Maverick is later on in the future. Or we might actually see if there's anything that we can actually develop with it. There was no plans for a Top Gun Maverick. It just happened. And then they wound up doing something that's totally different, which is hitting on the nostalgia of it and also giving us something different at the same time. With this is a total different thing here. And also, too, like I said before, this is where I wanted to go back to. Robert Pattinson's Batman does not belong in the DCU. It's more of the Christopher Nolan kind of flavor that we actually got, where it's basically realism within the DC universe itself, to the point where you have the Penguin looking the way he does, no supernatural stuff. You wouldn't have Superman in this world. Superman does not belong into the world of what Matt Reeves is doing. If you actually look at the tone of it, and people are disagreeing with me on some of this, it's like, well, you do. How can you say that? I said, look at the tone. Look, it's right there in front of you to even know what's going on here. The tone is different. It's a whole different thing. It's like realism within the Gotham universe. Yeah, it does not belong here. Okay, Derby says, I'm interested in updates and from Paradise Lost and Swamp Thing, but Brave and the Bold needs to be traditionally Batman film, kind of like Batman and Robin tone, but not over the top. I agree. Agreed. Only not non-DCU fans want Pattinson as the DCU Batman, and I'm okay with Pattinson. I thought he did a really good job as Batman. It's just, if you look at the overall tone, if you look at how that film is shot, and even when you look at the Penguin series, it doesn't coincide together, in my opinion. Let's see here. When we need the DCU Batman to be very comic book and playful. I think that here's the thing. Batman is a more serious type of character, more darkened kind of character, to the point where you can actually have some dark humor within it, but it doesn't need to actually be where it's jokey all the time. And I think that what James has done with, now this is what I agree with, as far as Superman goes, is this. He got the coloring right in that universe as far as the trailer looks. You definitely see Superman actually saving people this time. He actually emulates who Superman is. You have those bright colors. It's that bright color of hope. And instead of Superman looking down, we're now going to be looking up to the sky for someone to save us, as a mankind does, looking up to Superman. So he's got those beats done right. And I think there's actually a way to be able to balance out Batman to the point you can have some dark humor in it. You can also be playful with it. and stuff like that. That's how I see that going around with as far as Batman goes. But to say that this is actually going to be pushed back to 2027, that sucks. And then also too, the Brave and the Bold is also another one that's going to be pushed back. Andy Muschetti also said that he's going to go on to another project, and then if they and then what they'll do is they're going ahead and give him a call whenever they have everything in line on what they want him to do. Some people are saying that he's actually walking away from the project, but there's actually matter of fact, Schneider winded up saying that that's not the case, which is also another reporter that I follow. He said that's not the case. He's still attached to direct Brave and the Bold. It's just that they don't have any real plan in motion just yet. So Andy Muschietti just went on ahead and picked up another project. So that's what the insider Schneider said about that. But, I'm excited to see what they're going to be doing with this DCU universe. I'm waiting for Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse, is what Mr. Movie Madness says. I'm waiting for a Spider-Man Beyond the Spider-Verse and an Elseworld storyline. Yeah, I think the Elseworld storyline would actually be perfect and stuff like that with Batman. I think it's perfect. I mean, we can have two different Batmans in two different places where you have a DCU Batman and then you have an Elseworld Batman. It's like picking up two different comic books. They may not be canon to one another, but you can also pick out which flavor you like and go with that flavor. So that's the way I see that. And then Derby says, this Batman is technically based off of the Grant Morrison run. I don't know if you read that. Year one Batman. I've read the year one Batman and stuff like that as well. And that's where as far as Pattinson's Batman is. It's year one. This other Batman, we don't know what the tone is. We don't know what they're going to be doing with it. All I know is Clayface is in it. I'm excited that we're going to have Clayface. I've been wanting Clayface in a Batman movie for God knows how long. So I'm geeked out over that. And so, yeah, I'm excited about that. This Batman is technically based off okay. So now I want to go into something else too. So Daredevil. Okay, now this is now being reported over at comingsoon.net that Daredevil Born Again star reportedly cast in MCU Avengers movie, which is Charlie Cox. Cox played Matt Murdock in all 3 seasons of Daredevil, which is a fantastic show. And even in The Defenders, not so much of a good show. He then reprised the role in 2021 Spider-Man as a cameo. I loved him in No Way Home. I thought he actually added in some of that MCU flavor that we all know and love. And then 2022's She-Hulk, Attorney at Law, and 2024's Echo. He'll be voicing the Man Without Fear in the animated or Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man show before the new Daredevil series, Daredevil Born Again, premieres this coming March, which I'm excited for, which I'm going to do an after show for. And then also too, according to an Instagram post from the place that he works out at, where he's actually preparing himself for this role. Here's the thing: it's called Different, and Different winded up posting that Charlie Cox is actually going to be playing in the Avengers movie, the new Avengers movie. And what I have to say about this is I don't know if he's going to wind up basically working out with Different or anything like that in the future, because usually if they want this thing to be publicized and everything and stuff like that, they would want the studios to make the announcements, not something from a workplace that he works out at. So I don't know if Charlie's going to go back and work out with Different, but the fact that this guy was so geeked out at the fact that, that Charlie is going to be in the new Avengers movie and stuff, is basically, I would have to say, is he's just geeked out over it and excited about it. But at the same time, he should have held his tongue a little bit, in my opinion, because of the fact that you don't want certain things leaked out. But, but it could also be the case that maybe Charlie gave the studios a call and said, hey, look, is it okay if I go on ahead and talk to my trainer about it and talk to him about that? And they might have gave him okay to talk about it, but I don't know if they gave him permission to go public with it. But yeah, this is what he said. It's been awesome having Charlie and his wife, Sam Cox, in Different over the past few weeks. The post, which can be viewed below, reads, Charlie is currently training for his role in the upcoming Marvel Avengers movie, where he will play Daredevil. It's our absolute pleasure working with you in both, and we can't wait to watch you on the big screen. So, I just think that they would have actually gone public with it in a different way and not just going in a way of using someone that trains him, right? So that's how I feel about that. And Mr. Movie Madness says, I'm watching a movie called Nosferatu. You know what? I wish I actually could see Nosferatu, and I want to see that movie so badly. It's actually my most anticipated movie of 2024, and I didn't get a chance to go see that one. I'm glad that you're getting a chance to see it, though. Tell me what you got. Tell me what you think about it later on. I would like to know. Um, let's see here. The Batman is technically based off of the Grant Morrison. Year one is a Frank Miller that's completely different. Okay, I gotcha. I'm sorry about that, Derpy. So what do you guys think about that news about Charlie Cox being in the Avengers movie, and then of course having the trainer making the announcement that you know that hey, look, he's gonna be in the Avengers movie. We already knew he was gonna be in it, but I think that the way they went around it and everything, making that announcement wasn't right in my opinion of them making it public like that. This is me. This is my two thoughts on it. But you know, so now we're gonna get into this last little piece of movie news, and it's about Bill Skarsgård. And Bill Skarsgård is actually playing Pennywise again. He's gonna actually be in the new Stephen King's Welcome to Derry TV series off of Max, and I'm excited for this. I think this is I'm actually excited for this little prequel series and stuff because I'm a huge Stephen King fan. Not only am I a huge Stephen King fan, but I'm also a huge It fan as well. So to have that going, I'm excited even more. But Skarsgård, who can now be playing Count Orlok in Robert Eggers' Nosferatu, previously played Pennywise in The Dancing Clown and Andy Muschietti's two It movies in 2017 and 2019. He'll be soon reprising this role in Welcome to Derry, a new television series premiering on HBO in 2025 that is developed by Andy Muschietti, Barbara Andy Muschietti, and Jason Fioch. Speaking with Josh Holowitz on the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast, this is a fantastic podcast. I listen to that sometimes. Skarsgård said that the forthcoming show will be just as scary, if not even scarier than the movies. It's pretty hardcore, man, he said. And he goes, what else Bill Skarsgård say about Welcome to Derry? When asked if he had any hesitations to return to the role of Pennywise, Skarsgård said, I felt like I was done with it in a way. It was also because I was shooting Nosferatu and I was doing Orlok. And to me, it just felt like this is a nail in the coffin of my monster roles, pun intended. So I did feel I was kind of over it and wanted to do some different things, of course. The Pennywise thing as well. I've been quite defined by it. I was like, that's 20-year-old me. I'm not still a young man. Then things change. Barbara and Andy, the Muschiettis, are doing it. I love them. They're very close friends, family even. I'm the godfather of his son, so I love them. And it was all right. So let's bring him back. Skarsgård also said it was fun. I enjoyed more than I thought I would. Actually, there are parts of it where we got to explore sides of old Pennywise that we haven't seen, and that's fun. I remember how much I enjoyed working with Andy, and we do have a lot of fun together. I think there's some cool stuff in there that we haven't seen that I'm excited for other people to watch, hopefully to enjoy. Excuse me. So I'm actually excited about this actually being a prequel series. I'm excited about Skarsgård coming back. I can't wait for Welcome to Derry. Me either, Mr. Movie Madness. Me too. He also says, I've heard Daredevil, the team up, the Avengers and Marvel Studios Avengers, Doomsday, and Cinemas May 2000. Yep. I'm watching a movie. Okay, so my thing is this. I'm excited that Bill is playing Pennywise again. He's a phenomenal actor. Despite what happened with the Crow remake and stuff like that, you cannot go wrong with Bill Skarsgård as an actor. He did great in John Wick. I really liked him there. Every single time that I look at Bill Skarsgård, he always puts in 110% of his energy into the movies that he makes. And I'll watch Bill on screen any time of the day. I'm serious. He's just that good at what he does. And to expand out Pennywise even more makes me even more hopeful because of the fact that there's a huge part of the Stephen King's It story that they left out of the movies where it's actually dealing with the town history. So maybe we actually get some of the town history within it. I also mentioned this that they should have done this with Castle Rock whenever it was popular, but I just said, hey, I think that it would be cool since it's actually you can do different stories within Castle Rock, is just to have a whole entire special episode geared towards Pennywise. But now to actually have a prequel series with Pennywise, I'm excited for it. I've been waiting for this. So I'm just hoping that they do some of the history from the Stephen King's It book, maybe lean a little bit more away from it a little bit, just to expand, just to give it some new imagination. But I'm actually excited for this. I'm excited about Bill being in this world again, and it makes me hopeful that that this will actually give him more layers to this because like I said, I'm a huge Stephen King fan. Not only am I a huge Stephen King fan, but I'm also a big fan of Bill Skarsgård. And like I said, every single time that Bill's on the air, well, or not on the air, but every single time whenever I see him acting, he always turns in 110%. I didn't mind the Crow remake. I find it an okay movie, Mr. Movie Madness. Okay, so here's the thing. I said this in my review. You guys can look it up on YouTube and stuff. If this movie wasn't called The Crow, some of those ideas within the Crow movie itself could have worked. And another thing too is, I think if they didn't go on ahead and named the character Eric and the other character Shelley, and they just went on ahead and made a different character within the Crow universe, it could have worked. But instead, it was just the same story, but trying to give you more things to actually play around with within to make us care more about Shelley and Eric's relationship. But here's the thing: I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it like I wanted to. The Crow is hands down one of my favorite movies of all time. I remember going when I was 10 years old, seeing it with my mom and everything. I just loved it. I loved the gothic feel of it. I loved the whole entire this revenge plot of someone who's in love and his life has been taken, and now he has to try and avenge the woman that he loves death. And I just loved it. With this one, I just didn't like it as much as I wanted it to. Like I said, there's some great ideas within the movie itself, but if they would have just went on ahead and named it a different movie, or if they went on ahead and decided to not just do a different, just doing the same character, I think that it could have worked. But still, it was just not my cup of tea. But I'm glad that you enjoyed that, Mr. Movie Madness. I'm glad that you liked the Crow movie. I respect you for that. But does anybody else have any other questions for me? I'm just kind of wondering. I'd like to actually answer any questions that you guys might have or anything like that. If you're still watching Mr. Movie Madness, I would like to actually answer some of your questions if you have questions. But I'm gonna try and do like a top 5 or top 10 most anticipated movie list for 2025 coming up soon. I'm working on my top 5 and top 10, or just maybe a top 5 list of best and worst movies of 2024 still. Trying to play around with it a little bit. If not, I might just do my anticipated movie list of 2025. So that's how that's going to work out. But yeah, as far as this goes and everything, guys, this is going to be it for me. But I promise you, we have a lot of exciting things happening in 2025. We have I have my Dexter original sin reviews that I'm doing. I've also got a fiction fixation podcast coming on with me next week, doing a practical magic review. We're going to do that scene by scene, and we're going to review that nostalgically, and then we're going to go on ahead and take the nostalgia, and it's going to be wiped away from us because of the fact that we're reviewing it in a modern day eye. I'm also got That Doesn't Hold Up podcast coming in sometime in March. We're going to be doing a Cable Guy review because everybody voted for that movie for us to review it. So what better way to do that than with them? And yeah, I have a couple of interviews lined up as well for this year that I'm planning on doing. So it's gonna be a busy year for Movie Lovers Unite and also for Rossie as well. And if you guys want to go on ahead, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button, all that other good stuff. Don't forget, we are also sponsored by Fanatics. Get you guys some sports stuff in the links below. Get a 40% discount. And always until next time, guys, have a great and safe night. Thank you, Derpy. Thank you so much, Mr. Movie Madness, for commenting and Instagram as well. I do appreciate you guys so much. And always until next time, guys, have a great and safe night. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.